The place you're driving also matters. You can say, all right, we're better than the average U.S. driver, and I put some U.S. numbers down. In some places, you look at deaths per 100,000 people, but you could argue that big countries like the U.S., people drive more miles for whatever reason, and you can look at deaths per 100 million miles. We'll look at it both ways. Well, that number is for the whole country, but it turns out there's a lot of variation. In deaths per 100,000 people, there's almost an 8 times variation between District of Columbia and Wyoming. In terms of deaths per 100 million miles, there's almost a 3.5 times variation between Massachusetts and South Carolina. So if you're driving in Massachusetts and you say, oh, our deaths per 100 million miles is 1.11, same as the US, you're actually twice as dangerous as the Massachusetts drivers. The crash types also matter. In DC, they have the highest pedestrian rate. So of their fatalities, which is quite low per 100,000 people, 39% of pedestrians. Well, and if you've been to DC, there's pedestrians all over the place. But if you're going to break down the fatalities by how many are pedestrians, how many are vehicle occupants, how many are other, you need to know what the numbers are because you don't want to be worse than the local drivers and claim you're better than them. It doesn't make sense. New York, Florida, Delaware have bicycle fatalities at the highest rate, and urban versus rural has a 2-to-1 variation. So the place you're driving, the location, the county, the zip code, as well as the type of road you're on, significantly and dramatically affects what the baseline risk is going to be for a human driver. And let's not even get into day versus night and rain versus sun. Those are going to have significant effects on the crash rates. The takeaway here is you need to be as good as a human driver in comparable conditions, or else you could be sort of cooking the books here by saying, well, I'm better than average, but you're driving in a place where all the drivers are better than average, and you turn out to be worse than the humans.